Football Wives, episode 5 of season 2. I am Ania, lifelong Spurs fan, married to an Arsenal fan.
And I'm Sarah, a City fan, married to a United fan, and at work.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first video recorded podcast. Sarah, this has taken us, 2 hours over 2 days to set this up?
I think it's closer to 3 now. 2 hours last night, 1 hour today.
And what's ironic is that Sarah basically works in tech and we've had such a nightmare. But it's basically because I'm super inefficient and don't have any storage on my laptop.
Has no battery space.
Sorry about that. And usually I'm in my pajamas drinking a glass of red wine, but we're doing this at lunchtime, so I've got a cup of tea instead.
I know, and I'm at work, everyone. I'm in WeWork. WeWork still stands, just about.
And so, guys, I hope you appreciate this. You're not just going to be listening to our dulcet tones. You can see our dulcet faces as well.
I love the idea of having a dulcet face.
So we had a bit of a downer this weekend. It was a bit of a
massive downer.
Low scoring points this weekend, but we've still got some good information for you during this podcast. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm kicking off, as always. We're starting off with Good Week, Bad Week.
And yeah, we might have to do the music ourselves now.
Oh yeah, how are we going to do the bridge?
Guys, we're amateurs at this. We've got someone helping us, but we're amateurs. But maybe you'll have music, maybe you won't. We'll see. Anyway, good week.
People love the music. They get really annoyed if you cut it short.
Maybe we have to just shut up for 5 minutes for the music.
Right, we're going to start off Good Week. I'm going to do this because it's especially for you, Sarah. Guess who's in Good Week?
My second favourite team.
Whoa! Now, I'm not just starting Good Week with these guys because they beat City at home 2-0, but Wolves have now had one of their players get the most fantasy points 2 weeks in a row. So first there was the 6 million defender, Matt Doherty, who played against Watford and kept a clean sheet, and he scored against Watford, and that gave him 15 points. And then Mr. Adama Traore, £5 million.
Is that how you say it?
God knows, probably not. I think I'm close. He's £5 million, scored both goals against City, giving him 16 points. Guess what? He was only owned by 0.9% of managers, and I wonder how many of them actually had him on their teams.
Well, it was a low-scoring week for everyone, wasn't it? The averages are low. Some of us are still below average. One of my friends who's in our league on the train this morning said he was wildcarding because he'd had such a bad week. And he showed me, and he got 47 points on a week where the average was in the 30s. So I was like, you don't need to wildcard. To be honest, Anya, if I wanted to wildcard now, I have no idea who I'd even wildcard to. I thought I had a winning team this week, but who was expecting Wolves to beat City at home?
You should, instead of going on to point number 2, you should go to point number 3, because this is actually a really good thing to bring up about fantasy football at the moment.
So for Good Week, hang on everyone. Annie, why don't you tell us what's in?
So you got 3 points in Good Week. I've just done Wolves.
Okay, so players under 6 million.
Yeah.
Like everyone other than Mane.
All the players.
It was a good week for them.
Yeah, so basically all the players in this week's Dream Team were under £6 million. And only 3 of them were from the famous top 6. And so, yeah, except for Mane, that's when you're saying, like, I don't even know who I'd have in my team. It's so hard to pick at the moment because you've got great players coming from different sides. You've got Aaron Connolly, who's the teenager from Brighton, who scored 2 goals. Mr. Adama Traore, who's £5 million from Wolves. The Watford goalkeeper was on great form. So it's just, you know what? Even Kante at Chelsea, he's £5 million.
Oh, I had him so much of last season and he gave me nothing. So I don't have him this season. But yeah, I mean, my only points came from players under 6 million. I did read the tweet of how many of the top 6 clubs are actually going to end up in the top 6 this season.
Good. About time that City doesn't win the league. And about
Excuse me. everyone needs to know. Ania does the notes for this podcast and most of the research, or nearly all the research. I do a small bit of research. You haven't mentioned this being a bad week for Spurs.
No, because we haven't finished good week yet.
Oh, we're in good week. Oh, yeah, there were no good. Well, good week for Bournemouth.
Why? Bournemouth lost to Arsenal 1-0.
Brighton.
Good
no,
luck.
You lost to Bournemouth.
No, we didn't, Sarah. Shall I continue doing the notes?
Yeah, okay. You should continue doing the notes.
Can we finish off good week, please?
Yeah, so who's up next in good week? Hazard, who?
Basically, all the Chelsea midfielders are in good week because, honestly, you've got Mount, you've got Willian, you've got Jorginho, Hudson-Odoi, even Kante at £5 million. Everyone's talking about the City midfielders, but I actually think the team to look at for midfielders is Chelsea. They're much more affordable and they're all scoring or assisting at the moment.
Yeah, and everyone wrote Chelsea off at the beginning of the season as not having a good season, but who knows? They might come from behind. I mean, Arsenal are chasing City. They're on our coattails now. And given how Chelsea is performing, the best thing I have done with my team is bring on Tammy Abraham. Yeah. But the annoying thing is you've got him too.
Yeah, you copied me because I had Mount and Abraham before you did.
I didn't copy you, Ania. I can't even see your team until it's playing. That is ridiculous.
So, so they are final. Like the Chelsea midfielders are the guys that I've put in good week. So, yeah, I'm going to wild card. Not yet. I think I'm going to wait till November. Maybe I won't even have to. But
yeah, but who would you wild card to? Like, you've got a really solid team and you've got players on your team that perform well. I think there's so much inconsistency. It's quite difficult to pick a all-star team. It's so inconsistent. You think on a wildcard team, you'd want to have Sterling, you want to have Salah, you want to have De Bruyne. Yes, he's injured and will get better soon, but it's not easy to pick a new whole team.
No, I think honestly, and this sounds stupid, but it's not stupid. It's genuinely about who you captain each week because it's so random. But if you captain the right player, because
I saw some people this week captaining Pookie, hoping for a return on that against Villa at home.
Well, there we go. You captained Sterling, I captained Son, and they both gave us 4 points.
I've had 4 points for my captain for like the last 3 games.
There we go. Right. Well, on to bad week.
Well, the first bad week is Aguero, Aubameyang, and Callum Wilson. So 7 matches in a row, they scored and assisted. And then in the same game week, all 3 players have lost their record. Nothing.
Failed to return any points. But you know what? They're still Aguero's second, Aubameyang's 4th, and Callum Wilson is still 8th in the Fantasy Football League for most amount of points. So well done to them. But yeah, I was a bit annoyed because I was like, come on, at least one of you needs to keep going. And no, in the same game week, all 3 of them failed to return.
Yeah, well, I'm pleased about that because I got rid of Aubameyang, which I shouldn't have done. But anyway, this week, didn't really make much difference.
So next bad week goes to Tottenham's goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. I mean, he had an atrocious week, full stop, not just because of the horrible injury he suffered and has meant that he will now be out till at least the beginning of 2020. I mean, he conceded 10 goals in 5 days.
So how are you feeling?
Some of those goals, I mean, one of the goals against Brighton, I mean, he just dropped the ball. I think, he had a baby 3 weeks ago. I think
he's not sleeping.
I think he's just sleep deprived. I think he's got his wife telling him, no, night nurse, you are doing all the getting up, changing the nappies in the middle of the night. No, I genuinely think
why would you not get a night nurse if you could get a night nurse? I mean,
well, maybe they're just, I don't know.
But what do you think? Are you in the Poch out camp or you want him to stay?
No. I think they've lost confidence and they've had a bit of, they've been a bit unlucky. I mean, at the end of the day, the Bayern score was only that high because I think Spurs just gave up in the last 10 minutes and just didn't care.
But what's going wrong? Is it Poch or is it this gossip in the dressing room about Eriksen's wife?
I don't know. Something's definitely going on. Not sure if it's Pochettino. I did like how on Match of the Day they pulled out a lot of players have been there now for 5 years and their heads are just now somewhere else. Their future is not at Spurs. They're thinking about the next chapter.
Maybe Kane should get injured again. You play better.
No, Kane's not the problem. But I do think Kane, Eriksen, Vertonghen, they're all thinking about where they're going next.
Which is a great team spirit, that.
Yeah. So I don't think it's fair to blame Poch, who anyway was trying to get rid of Eriksen, was trying to bring in fresh blood. I don't think it's...
Do you think he will go?
No. Also, where would he go?
No, that's true. Where would he go? And he was always rumoured for the Man United job, and it's not exactly going very well for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is it? So maybe he'll go to United.
I don't think he will. And
then maybe he should just swap. I
think we'll bounce back. We had a terrible start to the Champions League season last year, and we ended up in the final. We had 1 point after 3 matches.
Well, you shouldn't have ended up in the final if they'd applied VAR properly. Anyway, so next one.
Anyway, we wish Hugo Lloris well.
Yes. So final bad week is for Pookie bandwagoners, myself included. So since I bought him on my team, and I often cause bad luck to many players, he's had 5 points in 3 matches. And everyone thought that this week could have been a big one because his big goal scoring games were all at home. But no, nothing. Do you think, I don't know, because Cantwell did play as well, didn't he?
He's currently the most transferred out player, Sarah. He's got over 235,000 fantasy football managers that have transferred him out to date.
I might just stick with him though, because then, obviously he can perform. Maybe it's because he can only perform against big clubs and not small clubs like Villa.
I don't know. We did say at the time, I think when we recorded second or third recording of the season, I said, I've got a feeling he's going to stop scoring. And I was right. Just like,
oh.
And I think there are loads of other options out there, like Sebastian Haller, like Tammy Abraham, like even Ayew from Crystal Palace, that are just as affordable and score just as many goals.
So have you still got him on your team?
Who?
Pookie.
I never took him.
Oh.
That's why I'm all smart.
Well, this is where I blame that person that made the changes to my team, who is also the person that's helpfully doing this video for us. So it should be nice. But he took out De Bruyne and Aubameyang and replaced with Pookie and Salah, who also has done nothing. I mean, why is he not in bad week?
He could be in bad week. He's actually the second most transferred out player at the moment.
I spent the whole last season avoiding him, and then this season I gave in, and it hasn't worked out. I should just stick to my guns. I tell you what, people started sending me text messages this weekend about how Liverpool are going to win the league. Maybe they will, but
do you know what happened 4 years today?
What?
Liverpool appointed Klopp as their manager.
Good choice.
I think he's going to win it. I think we should get them the cup now.
Did you see the Mane penalty?
No.
You should see it because it wasn't a penalty and it wasn't called to VAR and it was ridiculous. So they shouldn't have won.
And what VAR decisions went against you during the Wolves match?
No, that was our own fault.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're not just going to blame this all on VAR?
No, but we should have won against Spurs. Anyway, next, Ania, should we do some more music? Is it your turn to do the music?
You're going to have to put it in. I'm telling you, people really like it.
Okay, we'll work out how to do that.
Especially those people who aren't watching the video and are just listening to this on their commute.
So next up, it's our Fantasy Football League chat.
Yes. So Ania versus Sarah, the most important part of the episode. Last time we spoke, it was 3-0. I'd caught up with you, hadn't I? It'd been 3-0 to you. And since then, I've won the following 5 game weeks. So Sarah,
you haven't won the following 5 game weeks. You've won the following 2 game weeks, which brings your total up to 5.
If you listened to me correctly, I said a while back, it was was 3-0 to you, Sarah.
Oh, right. Okay, fine, whatever.
And then the following 5 game weeks, I've won them all. And so it's 5-3 to me. And the gap's now 68 points. And
if I'm not finished,
I'm finally in the top million.
Oh my God. I'm not. Do you know that I'm literally almost at the bottom of our league?
I can see where you are at 4.3 million.
I'm literally almost. And I looked at the person that was at the bottom and they got more points than me this weekend. And half of their team is red. So they're not doing their team and they still got more points than me this weekend.
So who are you going to blame? Are you blaming VAR? Are you blaming a random person?
This week I'm blaming City.
So maybe you need to make your team more diverse. Do you know what was really annoying, by the way, and would have helped you and I actually, is Zinchenko didn't start.
Oh, no, I know. I saw this, but actually I was hoping that, no, it would have helped.
It would have helped because you had 7 points coming on.
Yeah, but you had 9. And so I was watching this going, oh, God, if I get those 7, but if I get those 7, Ania gets 9.
Yeah. But that would have helped.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Yeah, and then bloody Kyle Walker.
I nearly played Kelly anyway. I don't know why I didn't. I also took a points hit last week because, what's the point anymore? Might as well just... What's another 4 points?
Do you know, you got to this point last year and you were like, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore. And then you ended up winning and getting your best you get your best points ever.
Well, we'll see. I'm literally 4.3 million. But I look at my team and I'm like, that's a good team. It should be performing, and it's just not.
So we don't have a game week this weekend because it's the international break, but we do have one afterwards. What are you going to do? Have you looked at your team at all? Have you already started to suss it out?
No. I'm just going to wait it out, see what happens in the international break, and then make some really last-minute stupid decision.
So I have already set it out, and I'm not going to take any points hits. And I think De Bruyne is going to come back, so I'm keeping him in. And I think I'm going to move the captaincy back to Abraham. So when I had it on him 2 game weeks ago against Brighton, he didn't do anything. And then obviously he scored in their match lot at the weekend. So now they're playing Newcastle at home. Oh, I've got some good players there. I have to say myself. I've got Mane against Man U. I even think Son could do something against Watford, or King against Norwich.
That's all right, Ania. We know you're fine. I'm on the issues.
So shall I tell you something to cheer you up?
Yeah.
We've got 200 people in our league.
I know, 200 on the nose as well. That's it. Now, do we try and find 300?
Definitely. So everyone, if you're listening to the podcast, please let your friends and family and any FPL lovers know they have to join the league. By Christmas, we'd like to get to 300.
Isn't that amazing? Think of 200 people in a pub or in one space, and they're all playing our league. And what amazes me is, there's some of our friends in it, but there's an awful lot of people that we don't know.
Yeah, I think I probably know about 20 people in the league.
I know. So people actually want to join our league. Now, I have to warn you, Ania, there could be a chance I'm going to get kicked out of this room, but we'll work on that when that happens, work that one out.
Right. So in other news about our league, dun, 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 Lydia Clements is no longer the leader.
What happened, Lydia?
I don't know.
Where are you, Lydia?
Wherever you are, please get in touch. We want to have you.
Who are you, Lydia? Maybe Lydia's on YouTube.
Maybe we'll find her now. So it's Lawrence Burns, who despite 0...
That's my brother-in-law.
Shut up.
That's my brother-in-law.
Has he just joined?
No, I joined him. I joined him at the beginning of the season. I did it on his phone for him. That's my brother-in-law.
He's the only
I'm going to be with him in 2 weeks.
He's the only manager over 500 points.
He is very clever and very strategic over this. Yeah, I'm going to be with him in 2 weeks at Centre Parks.
Well, you say he's very strategic, but his captain, Bernardo Silva, got 2 points and Edison got 0. So he only got 43 points, but he's now the manager of our league. He's the lead leader.
Oh, my God. He is my brother-in-law.
Well, that's great.
So we should get him on the podcast. I'm not sure he'd like to go on the podcast. He's not really a podcast kind of guy. Yeah.
So let's go to our next segment, which is our newly introduced segment from last episode. Ania apologized.
It's my favourite one.
All right, well, you introduce it.
Ania apologizes.
And Sarah says sorry.
What did we do wrong this week?
We actually didn't do anything wrong.
I don't think we did anything. I only made my own mistakes.
But our guest did, Ian Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
No, so if you remember, at DJ Newton asked him whether he should bring Pereira in. And he was like, I'd look at a Leicester defender, but not him. He's not worth it. And then he went on to get a goal, a clean sheet and bonus points in that game week. So, and he was the player with the second highest amount of points.
He did tweet sorry, didn't he?
So he did tweet sorry to actually.
Maybe it's the Canadian. Sorry,
Well, I was just using it as it was written.
Maybe we should add Ania apologizes, Sarah says sorry, and the guest goes back on their word.
Oh, I like the alliteration.
See what I did?
Yeah. So on to our Fantasy Football Wives mailbag. Guys, I'd just like to say lots of non-FPL questions from you. So clearly,
which cracks us up. People might just ask us to stop talking about FPL.
Clearly not listening to us for our expertise. First up from @FantasianPL, which is Ian Wilson, our previous guest. He says, first of all, can you say sorry? Sorry, for those who missed
it.
Thanks to my advice. Second, how many of the big 6 clubs will finish in the top 6 at the end?
Oh, it was him that tweeted it.
That's Ian.
I remember reading it. Yeah, I don't know. Look, City's not in trouble. City will be fighting for first or second place. United, though,
I think we'll probably see 4, maybe 5.
Spurs.
Yeah, I think Spurs will be there. Yeah, I think.
Who would take their place? Like Wolves.
I think it's going to be Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, and I think United will miss the top 6.
And yeah, I think Spurs will, and Wolves will be in top 6 instead.
So you're saying United and Spurs won't be in the top 6, and it will be Wolves
instead of Spurs. Because you didn't put United in your top 6 anyway.
Yeah.
So City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Wolves, Norwich.
Well, I think it might be Leicester if there is someone else in the top 6. If Spurs don't make it. No, I think it might be Leicester.
I might put money on Spurs not making it.
Off we go. Maybe you'll win at something this year.
Oh, so guess what? When we go to White Hart Lane to watch the game next week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And by the way, we're meeting with James from FPL Planet, whatever it's called.
Yay! Does he support Spurs?
Yeah, he told me he hasn't missed a match for 26 years.
So I have a friend who supports Spurs, but is so annoyed with Spurs. He said he'll come to the game, but just sit and drink with me in the quick bar with the beer going up.
So you're not even going to watch the match?
TBD.
It's really fun.
Depends how cold it is. No, I mean, I will watch the match because it could be highly entertaining. Who is your second goalkeeper?
Gazzaniga.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind him.
Okay. Good.
On to the next question.
Anya doesn't want to take the bait today. Okay. This is from @Austin66UK.
Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Jeff.
Let's just change his name.
Yeah, after the whole account hacking.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, hi, ladies. So with the whole video thing, I can't be on my phone the whole time during the podcast. So I'm actually having to I can't look it up and concentrate. Hi, ladies. 2 random questions, 1 each. Sarah, what is your favourite holiday destination? And Anya, if I could only visit one place in Switzerland, which would you suggest? Oh, my favourite holiday destination is 2.
You can't have 2. He's asked 1.
Okay, 1 would be San Sebastian in Spain.
Oh, what? I thought you'd say Australia.
No. I mean, I lived there. San Sebastian in Spain. I went to university near there, and I love going there. The other one I was going to say is Scotland.
He asked for 1.
Why do you raise your eyes?
They all begin with S.
Beautiful.
S, like somebody else's name.
Sarah likes to go to San Sebastian in Spain
and Scotland.
So yeah, San Sebastian.
All right. Can you guess what one place I'm going to say in Switzerland?
Geneva.
No. It's not. No. Geneva's probably the least Swiss place in Switzerland. So no.
Bern.
No.
Zurich.
No, but it does begin with a Z.
Someone. Zermatt.
Yes. So one place to go is where you've got the Matterhorn mountain, and that's the mountain that's on the Toblerone chocolate. And what's amazing about it, apart from it looking like a Swiss postcard, is that they don't allow cars in the village. So you have to take a train up, and then you've only got electric cars around there or horses to walk.
I remember going to Zermatt, and they have the glacier, and you can... Is it got the glacier in Zermatt? Yeah. And you can ski out of season. And it was where I tried snowboarding the first time, and I literally made it about 10 meters and couldn't get up again and couldn't use my arms to get myself up. And so my snowboarding career started and ended in Zermatt, and I went back to skis.
On the glacier. And that probably would have cost you, what, 70 francs?
Yeah, before kids. More disposable income.
Jeff, you can go any season. It's beautiful in every season.
So Jeff actually had an FPL question for us. I think he's humouring us, Ania.
It's not even a real FPL question, is it?
So which players' names will give you the most trouble from a pronunciation perspective?
Oh, that's not really an FPL question, is it? Right. So
have you worked out how to say your new defender's name?
Which one?
Sojikio.
Oh, No, that's not actually the one that I've got the most difficulty with.
What is it?
Mine's the guy that plays for Arsenal. So I've got his first name nailed, Socrates. And Papastafopoulos.
Oh, I love Greek name. Papastaphilos.
No.
No.
Papastafopoulos.
I generally struggle with pronunciation of most things.
Apparently, by the way, it means clever and able to accomplish the impossible dream.
Well, there we go. I've just realised my mouse has been over your eye for ages.
Right.
And I think it's really... In fact, I could just draw around your face. Right. Who can't I pronounce? Mo Salah.
That's not the most difficult one, is it?
Oh no, there's so many. I can't think of ones that... There's so many. I do get Salah wrong all the time. There was someone else I got wrong all the time. I know I'd say Gundogan though now.
Yeah. You've learned something.
Not Gundogan. I know what I spell wrong all the time whenever I'm tweeting.
What?
I spell Sterling like Sterling in Scotland. I check it every single time. All right, Ania. I have to go in a minute. Last couple of questions.
Got 2 more questions.
I know.
Fun fact.
We're just going to speed up.
All right, well, go for it. You're the one blabbing. One holiday destination turns into 2.
Shut up. So at Momo FPL, hi Mo. One thing from your childhood which you still owned.
You wish you
and
still
is owned. It time to wish you still own? And is it time to sell KDB?
No, to KDB. Keep him.
I sold him, and I'm regretting it. One thing from your childhood you wish you still owned. I know. I remember one of the first reasons I fell in love with football was in the 1990 World Cup. And I had a little Coca-Cola ball that was given away in like petrol stations or something. And that was my first like little thing that I loved from football. And yeah, I wish I still had that.
I don't have anything that I wish I still had.
Oh, God.
No, I don't.
She's so unemotional.
It's not that I'm not. No, I've got it probably still. I've got everything I want. I still own. So sorry, can't help you. Probably the one thing Sarah would like to see me in from my childhood is my Polish national costume.
Yeah, can we do that?
No. I've actually got an adult one.
Right, maybe that one would be easier.
Right, we've got an actual FPL question here.
Okay, from FPL Kiwi Nick, Cantwell to Maddison or Pukki to Vardy?
So given that I've just said I think Leicester's going to be in the top 6, I think if you can afford to do both those moves, then great.
Do both.
Right.
Maybe I should.
On to fun facts really quickly. So, okay, so as you know, Brighton beat Spurs 3-0 this weekend. And
I'm sure it was Brighton. I'm sure it was Bournemouth.
The star of the show was Aaron Connolly, because he is the youngest Premier League starter and goal scorer at 19 years and 250 days old. So I was like, I wonder who the youngest player is ever to play in football. However, I then came across a website which also showed the oldest players ever. And this made me laugh so much that I was like, right, I've got to get Sarah to guess this first. So guess how old the oldest player was ever to play in a football match.
Like a football match or a Premier League match or
any football match.
What, 5-a-side down the park?
It was an international football match.
Ooh, 54. Very
close. So Barry Dewsbury from the Channel Islands was 52 years and 11 days old when his team lost 16-0 to Greenland.
I know Dewsbury. I wonder if they're related.
Okay, so guess how old the youngest footballer was to ever play in football. This is proper league football.
Yeah, but there's a lot of rules around this.
Okay. I'll give you a clue. It was in Bolivia.
Oh, less rules. 11.
Close.
8.
12. 8. 12. So Mauricio Valdivieso, who was born on 22nd of July, 1996, debuted for the team La Paz FC on the 19th of July, 2009 at the age of 12.
Oh, well, there we go, everyone.
Just 3 days before he turned 13. Yes, so there we go. That's a fun fact for this week. So everybody, we are going to be recording in 2 weeks' time. So there's only one game week apart this time. And we are going to be also recording a short conversation with James Linden from @Planet FPL, who will be seeing at White Hart Lane.
Woohoo! I can't wait.
You're excited.
To what? Well, it could be a massacre.
No, it's not. Red Star Belgrade. Give me a break. You probably won't even see any of Team A.
Do you know, what should I do? Should I do the Ania angry cam? As more goals go in, how angry you get?
No, it's just going to be boring because we're going to win.
Okay. All right. Well, bye, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed our video. We've had our first video, and we've had to not edit. We've had to not make mistakes.
I know it's been pretty difficult, and for those people who are listening on their phones only or on their headphones only, we're really sorry if you're not getting the in jokes about what's going on the video. And by the way,
just go and watch the video.
By the way, thank you to people that have been rating and reviewing the podcast, and if you could continue to do that, it really helps with our rankings. So we appreciate if you just give us 5 stars and glowing reviews. If it's anything else, just don't bother.